Hello there, it's Tuesday the 26th of July 2016. I've got to tell you, this is the second time I've recorded this now. Because the first time I didn't have... Oh, that little square in the corner, let's get rid of that. There we are. The first time I didn't have my correct microphone plugged into the phone, and I listened back and the quality was awful. Second time I've recorded this, and I got up early, especially early because it's a little bit different today at the end. Something for someone very special at the end today. But I got up a bit earlier so I could get this recorded, give myself a little bit of time, and then start my day's activities, because today is a plant watering day. Oh yes, in these dry periods, it's practically like a desert here in Bracknell this evening, boys and girls. Dust and those little bush things are flying around all over the place, dear. It is practically a desert. So every other day I do plant watering, which includes Ronnie's plants, who lives up the road. So that's a 2-hour job. So I've got up early and I recorded the show and I listened back before it. Oh yes, I do check it before I send it out, dear. Don't worry. This is a professional setup. I keep telling you. You think I just, walk into a room for 5 minutes and start chatting aimlessly? You're very, very wrong. Hours of rehearsals are put into this. No one believes me, do they? No one believes me anything. No one listens. No one listens to anything I say ever. They really don't. So this is the second time I've recorded this today. God's sake. Never mind. I have rescued this morning. I have been a British animal lover today, boys and girls. I have, because before the first recording, which you won't see, okay, before the first recording today, I went downstairs. I thought I'll have a little wee before I come on stream, so to speak, on stream. And I went downstairs and I could hear a fluttering noise against the window, and I thought, that's a big fly. You know when you hear the fly going up and down the window, or if it's a big fly, you can hear it, can't you? As it bangs its head against the window. I mean, how stupid are flies? Why can't they see that bit of glass in front of them? So I looked over, and a bird had somehow, because I did leave the kitchen door open to the back garden for the cat to wander in and out. I'd rather she uses the garden than the cat tray. I have to empty the cat tray every day, dear. Every day that cat tray gets emptied. Thank you very much. And I looked over, and there was a bird going up and down. A little bird. I don't think it was a sparrow. It looked a bit like a sparrow, but I don't think it was a sparrow. It was a bit thinner than a sparrow. Perhaps a thrush. Did you get that, ladies? Thrush. It's there's some creams for that, you know. You can get some special creams, or if you've got it in the mouth, some pastels. You can get pastels for thrush. But this was thrush the bird. And up and down the window it was flying, its little wings flapping like there was no tomorrow. Flap, 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 flap. It was going on. Anyway, so I'm searching around now for the key to the double glazed windows I have here in Royal Berkshire, boys and girls. Of course, can't find the key anywhere, because I'm very good with security. What I'm not very good at is recovering keys. So I couldn't find the key anywhere. So there was only one thing for it. I had to get my hand, and I gently, very gently, because their bones are very small. They're tiny little God's creatures, dear. God's little creatures. It's flying up and down. So I've got my hand, and I waited until it settled at the bottom, and then I carefully... Why didn't it fly the other way? I don't understand. They continue to try and fly forward. Bang, 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 against the window all the time. Why don't they turn back? It reminded me slightly of those poor people who were trying to get on the ferry at the weekend, going over to France, and they were in a queue and couldn't turn back either, could they? Except they didn't have glass in front of them. Anyway, so I managed to carefully put it, and its little wings kind of gathered around my hand. It was I thought it was going to peck my hand, but it didn't. It seemed to be quite happy to be picked up, and I took it to the door. And I opened my hand, and it sat there for a while and looked at me and then flew off. Isn't that lovely? Into my holly bush. I think there is a nest. A nest. Not in my hair, no. No. Oh, no. Can you imagine being a hairdresser and finding a nest? A nest of, what are those things? Not fleas. Hair lice. I bet hairdressers find... I must ask my niece if she's ever found a nest of lice in someone's hair. Do you have to tell them? Oh, oh, I could never touch that hair again, could you? Oh, nasty, nasty, nasty. Lice in your hair. Do you remember the special little comb you had at school? Everyone had to go down to the medical place and they'd have this bowl of disinfectant and a comb, like this comb with very, very small gaps between the teeth, and they'd do this and stuff, and then they'd be looking to see if you had hair lice. Anyway, so this bird flew off into the holly bush, which is in my garden, and I think it was quite grateful. So I'm very pleased with myself. Of course, while I'm doing this, you would think the cat would be going mad, wouldn't you? She's just sitting there and looking at this thing. I think as cats get older, they get very lazy. They can't be bothered anymore. You know, I'm sure you know some people like that yourself, don't you? Some people, they get older, they can't be bothered anymore. They just sit on their computer or in front of their television all day. That's all they do. They can't be bothered. Well, my Katie the cat is like that now as well. She does, unless she wants it, and then she walks around starting meow, meow, moaning all the time. But no, she seemed quite content today. She just sat, well, she wasn't actually, she was lying there with one eye open watching the birds going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then eventually out. So there we are. Chris Reardon, animal lover. Thank you very much. Now, look, I'm all for helping people, but honestly, how ungrateful can you be? In this morning, we haven't got the Daily Mail. Well, we have got Daily Mail stories. You know I like the Daily Mail. I often do a story or two from there. But in this morning's Telegraph, Syrian refugees who we have helped, okay, resettled on remote Scottish island of Bute. Now, have a look at that on the internet. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. The views and the countryside and all that, it is stunning. Look, Syrian refugees resettled on remote Scottish island of Bute complain. Their new home is full of old people waiting to die. How ungrateful can you be? I'm not happy about this. A scheme, the story goes on. This was actually came out yesterday afternoon. As I say, in the Telegraph. Someone was saying, why do you always mention the newspapers? If you're going to use their stories, you have to mention their name. That's the reason for that. Even though, I don't like to say this too loudly, some people class my little programmes as an amateur show. Amateur show. So even though some people, not all of them, just a very, very small amount of people, even though some people class this as an amateur show, I still feel it necessary to mention the name of the paper. After all, they printed the story. Let's give them a little bit of gratefulness. Gratefulness, which is not what these Syrian refugees have got towards the people who gave them this house. And please, do not, if there's any do-gooders watching this, don't come back to me, oh, it's their right to have what they want. This is outrageous. I'm one to help anyone. I will help anyone. These people have been helped. This is the thanks. Are you ready? A scheme designed to offer Syrian refugees a fresh start away from their war-torn homeland has backfired after two families said the Scottish island they were sent to is full of old people waiting to die. And they would rather be in Glasgow or Manchester. Hello? Hello? We've done you a favour here. I don't suppose you've paid either, but that's okay. You know, we are quite a generous company. But what they've done is thrown it back in their faces. The refugees praised the people of Scotland and said they had been made welcome on the island of Bute, but also complained they were unable to find work. Well, there's no work around. And they felt ashamed that they had to rely on charity, which is okay. Yep, cool. But he says, I feel I only have one option now to die here. Only die here, nothing else. Some of the refugees said they spent most of their time indoors or took short walks from the seafront in the main town of Rothesay. So he said, at first, of course, I was really happy to come to the UK. It is the mother of freedom. People treated me really well. Scotland is beautiful. I love the weather. There are some people who like this weather, and I like it. I like the winter. But for 6-7 months now, there's been nowhere to go. Well, you have to make your own life, dear. The same as I have done. We make our own lives. It's like when I was a child, and I grew up and I've made everything that I do and I've got. I think that's really ungrateful to come out with, in my opinion, shut up and put up. Make your own thing. You can't sit there waiting for everything to just arrive at your doorstep. You got to work for it, haven't you? Eh? I don't know what you think on that, boys and girls. Send a little message at the bottom there. Entirely up to you. You might agree, you might disagree. I don't mind either. But I think that's a bit much. That is a bit much, saying something like that. It's in the Telegraph. It is actually in quite a few of the newspapers this morning. The Telegraph, the Mail, the Sun, Herald of Scotland, quite a few bits and pieces there. All right, boys and girls, you can look those up. Now, let's do some birthdays this morning, boys and girls. Happy birthday today. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to bring them up. Oh, just a moment. Oh, little message here from Kiki D. Kiki D. Oh, we were talking about the subject of offending people. We don't. There's too many people out there who want to be offended, don't they? Oh, I'm really offended by that. I can't be bothered with that. You've got to have a sense of humour in this life. My God, I've been laughing at myself for years. I look in the mirror and I laugh in the morning. What on earth made God look like you? Made you look like that? That's why. And I don't mind people taking the mick out of me. I find it very humorous. But some people are just there waiting to be offended. Kiki D says, I occasionally upset people when I make jokes. I use humour to express myself, to make a point, to disarm judgmental people, or to lighten up a heavy situation. It can be so hard to admit it hurt someone, especially when I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, I find that hurtful. Get this. I am offended by people who are offended by something I said. Use that one, Kiki. When they say, I find that really offensive, you say to them, you are? That's really offensive. But, oh my God, I'm really offended by that. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm really offended by your offence. Turn it back on them. That's the only way you're going to get these stupid people who are offended by everything, Kiki dear. Just to say in the words of Victoria Woods, whoops, there goes my bloomers. Do you get it? Thank you, Kiki D. You're very kind. Thank you, Kiki D. Gustav says, we were talking about those blooming tea, herbal teas and all this old rubbish, dear. It's not tea. Tea is black tea put in a cup with boiling water on it. Gustav says, I've got some fantastic mushrooms that make the most amazing tea. Do you fancy a brew? No, thank you, dear. No, I don't want mushrooms, dear. Mushroom tea? What's all that about? Mushroom tea? Oh, I don't think so. No, thank you very much. All right, let's do these birthdays this morning, boys and girls. And then a special birthday at the end for the lovely Mary. Oh, where have they gone? There they are. Happy birthday this morning to Ray Pierce. He's one of the very first people I ever spoke to at the Black Cap when I started there back in November. No, I can't remember the month, actually. It was 90. Oh, actually, I could probably look up on my accounts when exactly I started there. The exact date, in 1987. So happy birthday, Ray, who's done very well for himself. He lives in the United States, I think California, and he's 46 today. Happy birthday, Ray. You don't look 46, especially with those dark glasses on, hiding the bags under your eyes. I've got some of those as well, look. Oh, sort of just. Happy birthday, Ray. Happy birthday to Ayse Coldham today. It's her birthday. I went to her wedding a few years ago. She married a friend of mine, Steve, who used to come along to karaoke at Belushi's in Hammersmith when we were there a number of years ago. She's 20, so young, dear. 28. She's got a little family gathered around her in the photos as well. Happy birthday, Ayse. All right, have a lovely day. And happy birthday today to Kevin. Kevin is a entertainer, sir. Aren't you? You're only 28 as well. God, happy birthday, Alex. Sorry, not Alex. Alex Sinclair. Yes, Alex. That's his cabaret name. Alex Sinclair. That's Kevin Cantwell, who's 20. You look older in cabaret makeup than you do in real life. How strange is that? How old do I look? Hey, go on, be nice, be nice. Happy birthday, Kevin. Here comes the birthday songs. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ray, Ayse and Kevin. Alex says, happy birthday to you. All right? Happy birthday, you lot. Have a wonderful day. Tonight, karaoke. It's a bit of a special karaoke today, boys and girls. We will be hosting karaoke at the Golden Lion, but more about that in a second. Meanwhile, let us go downstairs. Okay, come along. All right, Mary? Oh, there you are, right up there, dear. Hello! Right, something special for you, as you're a special lady. Specially for non-Irish Mary from Ireland, a little ditty for you. Do join in the song if you know it. Join in the hymn if you know it. Are you ready? Oh, you know what it's going to be first, don't you? Ready? Hail, glorious Saint Patrick, dear saint of our isle, on the side children, bestow a sweet smile. And now thou art high in the mountains above, o'er Mary's green valleys, look down in thy love. On Erin's green valleys, on Erin's green valleys, on Erin's green valleys, look down in thy love. Happy birthday, Mary! And by the way, boys and girls, if you want to come along, tonight is Mary's birthday party. You can join us at the Golden Lion in Royal College Street in Camden Town. Starts at 9 o'clock and finishes at midnight this evening. All right, once again, it's Mary's birthday party tonight. Starts at 9 o'clock at the Golden Lion in Royal College Street, Camden Town, where we do karaoke there every Tuesday from 9 o'clock. Apart from that, looks like it's another nice day outside. Have a lovely day. See you soon.